Poor formatting translates to no sales because the potential buyer will see it like this author does not know what he is doing. Now, you don't want that to happen. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to format a book for Kindle, paperback, and hardcover professionally. When a buyer sees your book, they perceive that you know what you're doing and they will click the buy now button. Professional book formatting is essential because it increases your chances of making sales. And if you know how to format a book very well, you can use it to make money on Fiverr, Upwork, or any other freelancing site by simply formatting for clients and making money online. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I'm Legal Naira, and all I do every day is to put a smile on your face and money in your bank account by teaching you different legitimate ways to make money online. If this is something you're interested in, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification icon so that YouTube will send you instant notifications anytime I post awesome videos like this. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Thank you very much for supporting my channel and being a loyal subscriber. I promise to do more awesome videos to help scale your online business. Without wasting much time, let's get right into today's video. Remember the book we wrote with ChatGPT, the Diabetes Diet Recipes Cookbook? We're going to format that book now. If you don't know how to write a book with ChatGPT, please, I'll leave a link in the description down below so that you can click the link to learn how to write a book using artificial intelligence in less than 1 hour. In an hour, you'll be done writing, and then you can come back to this video to learn how to format your book. This is the book. We used ChatGPT to get the subtitle, the copyright page, the table of contents, and the body of this book. ChatGPT generated everything for us. So if you remember, this is the book we wrote last time, from chapter 1 to chapter 4 or 5, having recipes, meal plan, and everything a standard cookbook should have. So this is the book. It is now time to format this book. There are 10 easy steps to book formatting. You first of all set your paper and page measurement size. Then you set up your heading 1, heading 2 with your preferred fonts. Then the full page setup, the size and margin, page numbers, body and proper formatting with images, table of contents, title page. Then you save your document and you're done. I'm going to show you all these steps one by one, and just follow what I do, click what I click, and your book will be properly formatted. So the first thing to do is to set your paper and page measurements. So you click on File, then click on Options, Advanced, scroll down until you see Show Measurements in Units. Click on it, and then you select inches. I already did it, that's why it is in inches. If you've not done yours, it will be in centimeters or millimeters or any other one, but it's supposed to be in inches. So when you put it in inches, then you click OK. We have successfully completed step 1, which is setting up our paper measurement size. So the next thing to do is our headings. Heading 1, heading 2, normal with the preferred fonts we want to use. But let me first tell you the usefulness of setting your heading 1 and heading 2. Heading 1 and heading 2 and this normal are the elements you want to show in your table of contents. This is what we are going to be using to create or generate our table of contents with just a few clicks. You don't want to start typing your table of contents and checking the page. If you set up your heading 1 and heading 2, it is going to help you create your table of contents according to the heading, and that is going to make your work very easy. At the same time, I'm also going to show you another benefit of setting up your headings. Now, for the fonts, there is something called serif fonts. Serif fonts are fonts like Times New Roman, Bookman Old Style. Those fonts are very good for books because they depict continuity. It makes readability easy for the reader. So, for the purpose of this video, we are going to be using Times New Roman as our major font. In fact, I highly recommend that you always use Times New Roman as your major font, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You see this part where it is written heading 1, the other one says heading 2, and the first one says normal. Those are the 3 things we are going to be using in that section. So you hover your mouse to the heading 1 and right click on it, then you click modify. It will display this page. The next thing you want to do is to format this heading 1 based on your preference. This means that anything you highlight and click the heading 1 tab, that thing you have highlighted is going to change to the format of this heading 1. Let's make it practical. So for this heading 1, let's say I want to use Verdana, or let me look for another font to use. Let's say for all my heading 1 depicts chapter. So let's say for all the chapters, like chapter 1, chapter 2, the font for writing the chapters is going to be Broadway. Do you get? That means that for everywhere you see a chapter 1, chapter 2, or anything chapter written in this book, it is going to carry this Broadway font. So let's leave this at 18. Okay, that means the section where it is going to be written chapter 1 is going to be in this Broadway font, and the font size will be 18. You can use any font you like. Okay, just make sure it is readable and it is attractive. So let's use Broadway for the purpose of this video, or let's use Berlin Sans. I think this is better. It is readable. You're going to see it when we start editing or formatting properly. So you make it bold. You click on this bold. You see this B. You click on it. The font size is 18. Okay. If you are formatting for Kindle, you can always add colors to your book. It is sweeter when you are reading an ebook and there are different colors playing in the background. I always use color red for my heading 1. I click on red. As you can see, just click on this place and then you select red. Then I always like the write-up chapter 1 to be in the middle. So you click on this middle. Here, this is it, center. I click on it, then I use 1.5 line spacing. So this is 1 line spacing, this is 1.5, and this is 2 line spacing, or you can call it double line spacing. I click the middle one, which is 1.5 line spacing. Once I'm done with this, I click new document based on this template, so that after setting this up, the next time I want to write another book, I don't need to come back here to do all these settings again. It will automatically apply to all the books I'll be writing with this Microsoft Word. This means that these settings we are doing is only going to be done once and for all, as long as you click new documents based on this templates. Remember, I said do what I do, click what I click, and your book will be properly formatted. You can always change this to any font that you like. Just make sure it is readable. I'm just using this one for the purpose of this video. Then you click OK. Let's make it practical. You see that this Diabetes Recipes cookbook, everything here is in Times New Roman. As you can see, it's Times New Roman and the font size is 26. But if I highlight that and I click heading 1, it automatically changes into the format I gave in that heading 1, which is Berlin Sans and font size 18. So anytime I highlight anything on this document and I click heading 1, that thing that I've highlighted will change into that exact format I gave in the heading 1. As we continue, you will understand better. Now let's move to heading 2. Heading 2 is for sub chapters. For example, if you say you have types of diabetes as your main heading, let's say that's chapter 2, types of diabetes. Now you want to explain the types of diabetes, which is type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and gestational diabetes. All these types that you are listing are all sub chapters, so you can put these sub chapters in heading 2. Okay, remember that I said anything you put in your heading 1 or heading 2 are the things that will appear in your table of contents. I hope that's clear. And this is a form of marketing, because you are only going to be putting the most vital things or the most vital elements of your book in your heading 1 and heading 2. As we continue, you will understand better. So let's go to heading 2. You right click on heading 2, click on modify. I can decide to change the font of my heading 2 so that my heading 1, which is chapters, will not be the same as my heading 2. I can also use the same font. It does not change anything. There is no law against it, or there is no rule against it. Let's click here. I think I want to use Verdana for my heading 2. Just click on Verdana. The first one we did was font size 18. Let's make this 16 because your heading 1 font size is supposed to be bigger than your heading 2 font size. So let's make this 16. Okay, we'll make it bold too because it's a vital part of this book. And then you can even make it italics. As you can see, if you click on italics, it is displaying here. It is showing you all the changes you're making or modifying is going to be showing here for you to see how it looks in your book before you agree by clicking OK. But I don't want to make it italics. I don't always make it italics. I just leave it like that. But I'll make it bold, make it font 16, and I would make it left alignment. You know that our heading 1 is always supposed to be in the center. Like if you see a book now where they wrote chapter 1 or chapter 2, all those chapters written are to be, or they used to be, in the middle. But sub chapters are not supposed to be in the middle. They're supposed to be by the left hand side. So you select left alignment, unlike the heading 1 where we selected center alignment. So we select left alignment for heading 2. You also put it in 1.5 line spacing because throughout this book we're going to be using 1.5 line spacing. Some people use 2 for their headings, but I prefer 1.5 line spacing. You can decide to also change the color. All these color changes are only effective in the Kindle version. They would not appear in the paperback version because our paperback is going to be black and white. But in the Kindle version, that's an ebook that will be reading in their device, or on their device rather, they can have different colors depicting different things. Like your chapter 1 can be red, the subchapters can be blue, then the body should be black. Okay, as we continue, you will understand all these things perfectly. So let's change that to color blue. I like this. So everything that's going to be in heading 2 is going to be color blue, and everything in heading 1, as we did earlier, is going to be color red. So the next thing you want to do after setting it up like this is to click new documents based on this template, so that the next time you want to format, you don't need to do these settings again. It would apply automatically to all new documents on this Microsoft Word. So once you're done with this, you click OK. So anything we highlight now and click heading 2 is going to take the form of what we have formatted in that heading 2 bar. For example, delicious and nutritious meals for diabetics of all ages. We highlight that. Once we click heading 2, you see what happened? It has changed automatically to the exact format we did in that heading 2. I hope this is clear, but I'm just using this to explain something to you. Your title page is not supposed to be in either heading 1 or heading 2, and this is our title page. Title page is the title of your book, the subtitle, and the author name. So any of the elements on your title page is not supposed to be in any heading. I'll explain that as we proceed. So let's remove all these from headings by highlighting them, clicking normal, highlight this and click normal. So we've automatically removed it from heading. Now, another heading we need to set up is normal. We've done heading 1, heading 2. Now we want to do normal. Normal is the entire body of the book. So we right click on normal, click on modify. Remember I said for the body of your book, you should use a serif font. Examples of serif fonts are Times New Roman, Bookman Old Style, Elephant font, Bookman Antiqua, and the rest of them like that. They all look like Times New Roman because they have a tail. Serif fonts are fonts that have a tail. So you will see that at the end of each of the fonts, it has a tail that ushers you into the next word for you to read. So it makes readability easy. That's why we always advise that authors use serif fonts. And the best serif fonts that I use is Times New Roman. So we use Times New Roman here, and then the font size should always be 12, please. The most recommended font size for writing a book, non-fiction or fiction, is 12. So Times New Roman, 12 font size. And there is something called Justify. I will explain that later on in this video. Justify makes your book look very neat. You remember that in the heading 1, we use center. In heading 2, we use left alignment. But for the normal, we are going to be using Justify. And I'll explain that later on in this video. After that, the next thing is the line spacing, which is 1.5, as we have said earlier. So the middle one is 1.5, and this you can either select automatic. Automatic is black, or you can decide to change it to black yourself. It's still the same thing. After that, you click new documents based on this template. Remember, it's not going to be bold because the entire body of your book is not supposed to be bold. The only things that should be bold are the important notes in your book. For normal, you don't click the bold icon. After clicking new documents based on this template, you just click OK. We are done with setting up our heading 1, heading 2, normal with the fonts we prefer. So the next thing is page setup. For your page setup, I want to tell you a secret. I always use 5.5 by 8.5 book or paper size. You know why? If you have 13,000 to 15,000 words in a 5.5 by 8.5 book, that is going to give you over 100 pages, and that is the style I use. In fact, I tried doing a 6 by 9 and I don't even like it. I go to bookshops, I check the sizes physically, and I saw that I prefer using a 5.5 by 8.5. Some people use 6 by 9, some people use 8.5 by 11, but I prefer 5.5 by 8.5. If you like it too, you can start using it, and if you don't like it, you can simply continue using your 6 by 9. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using 5.5 by 8.5 to explain this book formatting. 5.5, 8.5 is a small pocket-sized book, and my marketing strategy is for books that you can take to anywhere. Put it in your bag, put it in your back pocket, put it in your small purse. Books that you can take anywhere. You don't have to always be at home to access or read this book. So for all my high content books, I use 5.5 by 8.5. So to set this up, we go to layout. When you click on layout, you click on size. Depending on the paper size you want, you can select what you want from here. So you can choose letter, which is 8.5 by 11. That's if you are writing an 8.5 by 11 book, or just click on statement, which is 5.5 by 8.5 inches, as you can see it's written there. But in some cases, some Microsoft Word, especially the old versions, don't have statements written here. If your own Microsoft Word does not have statements and you want to use 5.5 by 8.5, or you even want to use 6 by 9 and it is not here, not stated here, normally I'm just supposed to click statement and I'm done. But if your Microsoft Word does not have statements, you just scroll down and click more paper sizes. When you click more paper sizes, you just type 5.5 and height, you put 8.5. That's all. You just click OK, and this is our paper size. As you can see, this is our book size. It automatically shows your book like this. Now let's try 6 by 9. You see, as we are doing 5.5 by 8.5, this is just 8,928 words, and it has given us 98 pages already. Can you see what I'm talking about? So you don't have to write too many words to get many number of pages. Let's try 6 by 9 and see the difference. You go to size, more paper sizes, then you type 6 by 9 and you click OK. Once you do that, as you can see, we still have 8,928 words, and the number of pages has reduced to 88. Remember, with 5.5, it was 98, almost 100. By the time I'll finish formatting, it might even be more than 100. But now with 6x9, it has removed extra 10 pages out of the book. So I don't use 6x9, I use 5.5 by 8.5, which is the same thing as statements. As you can see, you just click on statements and you see it has changed back to 98 pages with the same number of words. This is another hot secret. Nobody will tell you this, but I'm telling you for free. So go into Amazon KDP and enjoy publishing. That's not all. You can see that the number of pages, or the pages, has splitted itself into two. It is my settings. I was gonna set it like that so that I can see page 1 and page 2, page 3 and page 4 on one screen. So if you want to do that, you just click on view. Look at this view here. You click on view and you see multiple pages. If I click on one page, you see that everything is now on one page like this. But to make formatting easy, I always like to use multiple pages. So if you click on multiple pages, you will be seeing all the, this is page 1, 2, 3, this is going to be 4, 5, 6, like that. Your formatting can be easy. I always like it to be just 2 pages on the screen. So look at this zoom feature here. I'll just increase it by clicking the plus sign here. As you can see, once it gets to 100, it's going to split into just 2 pages. But if you want 3 pages, you have to click the minus sign to reduce it. As you can see, it's now 3 pages. But I prefer 2 pages, so let's go back to 100, and this is what we have. After this, the next thing you want to do is to click margin. Okay, you go back to your layout and click margin. There is actually a settings for this, but I don't want us to go into that because there is no word recommendation for it. Just do it and do it right, and I'll explain why this is so. Instead of just leaving it like that on normal, you just click moderate. When you click moderate, the book becomes finer and easier to read. And there is something called gutter in a book. A gutter is the part where all the books are binded together. From the outside, it is called a spine. For example, your spinal cord is at your back, so the back of the book is the spine, while inside that spine is called a gutter. This is where they join all the pages and bind it together. So we are using moderate because irrespective of your number of pages, when all these books are binded together, it would not reach where the write-up starts. For example, the write-up starts from this part of the book. As you can see, this is the write-up. This part, it starts from here. All these parts are where they will join together to form a book. And if you don't use moderate, or you don't use the right dimension, when they are joining your book, they would press all these parts. So a customer reading your book would not enjoy reading it because some of the parts would have entered into the gutter where they binded together. So it is always good to just select margin and select moderate. When you use moderate, as you can even see it looks very fine and perfect. Like I said earlier, follow what I'm doing, click what I click, and your book will be perfectly formatted. Let me use the opportunity to explain Justify. Now, Justify, as I said earlier, makes your book looks very accurate and very, very fine, making it seem like this author knows what he is doing. Let me show you. If you highlight this part of this book, you see that it is justified, and we've done the justification format in our normal. You don't even need to go back there. I just want to show you something. If you click on left alignment, you see that everything does not look fine. It does not look well aligned. I don't like it like this. I see books like this, but it does not really appeal to me. So I always like to make mine justify by clicking justify. You see everything is on a straight line. It makes your book very attractive. As you can see, if we keep scrolling down, you see that everything is on a straight line. It's not scattered. So we have successfully set up our page. Now our page setup is complete. The next thing we want to set up is size and margin, which we already did. We already done that. So we've completed size and margin. The next thing on the list is page numbers. So it's always good to number your pages before you even start formatting, so that as you're formatting each page, it's automatically numbering the pages for you. So to number your pages automatically, what you want to do is click on Insert. Now hover your mouse to where you will see page numbers. It depends on where you want to put your page numbers. Some people like putting their page numbers at the top of the page, some people at the bottom of the page, some people at the top right corner, some at the top left, some at the center, some people at the top left corner, some people at the bottom left corner, center, or bottom right corner. You can put your page numbers anywhere that you like, but there's a particular one that I always use, and everybody I have taught KDP, this is the same method I teach them. It's not like I don't just use the numbers, but I like writing the title of the book at the bottom of the book. So I can just hover my mouse to bottom of page, and then you will see different formats. This is for bottom left, this is for bottom center, while this is for bottom right. This is where your page number will be showing. We can also go again and say top. This is for top right, this is for top center, and this is for top left. It depends on what you want, but there's a particular one that I always use. It is bottom of the page, then I'll select accent bar. When you click on accent bar, it will give you chance to write the title of the book or the author name. In this case, I'll just write the title of the book, which is Diabetes Recipes Cookbook. When you write it like this, you can make it smaller by highlighting it like this and then reducing the size like this. You see this small a, you can just be clicking it and it will be reducing, or you can just decide to put the number you want to use. Let's put 7, for example, 7 here, and click enter. You see that the title written at the bottom of the page is now smaller and it looks more attractive. So all the pages of your book will have this title in it. Okay, so as it is like this, if you look at books that are professionally written by big authors or popular authors, the first page does not always have page numbers. Like this one now, you see that the first page has page numbers. You're not supposed to put page numbers in the title page. It's just supposed to be blank. Then the page numbers will start from the second page. So to do that, you just click different first page. That's all you need to do. Once you click on page numbers, select the page number that you want. Just make sure that you click on different first page. Click on it like this. As you can see here, the first page does not have a page number. It will start from page 2, which is the second page. I hope this is clear. So we have successfully added page numbers to our book. The next thing now is the body and proper formatting. This is the section we have all been waiting for. Please pay close attention to this part, because this is what determines the professionalism of your book. And I said I was going to show you how to format your book in a way that you won't even know that it was Microsoft Word that was used. You would think it's a proper graphic design package that was used to format this book. The only catch to it is that I used to add free stock images at every point of this book. Wherever there's an extra space, I'll add free stock images. Imagine reading a book and you're seeing images flipping through some vital parts of the book. That depicts professionalism. So I'm going to show you how to do that right away. To do this, you would need internet connection to be downloading the images that suits each of these pages. Now, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do, you can leave this copyright page like this if you like, or you can make it justified. So if you highlight it like this, you can just click on justify. As you can see, it takes the form of that justify by aligning everything to be on a straight line. You can leave it like this and you can use center, no problem. but let's leave it like this for the purpose of this video. So the copyright title can be bold, just the way it is here. So the next thing, after your title page, we're coming back to design this title page very well. After your title page, your copyright page, the next thing is your table of contents. So for the table of contents, we will only do the table of contents when we are done formatting this book. Now let's create space for table of contents before we start the formatting proper. All you need to do is to click before the introduction, put your cursor before the first letter in the introduction, that's letter I, and then you tap enter on your keyboard until it moves to the next page. I'll tell you the reason at the end of this video. When you do that, you've created a space for your table of contents. This is where we're going to put our table of contents. The next thing you want to do now, your formatting is going to be very easy and smooth from this point. The next thing you want to do is to decide which subtitle or title you want to put in your table of contents. Remember that anything you put in your heading 1 or heading 2 are the things that would appear in your table of contents. So introduction is supposed to be in the table of contents. What you want to do is to highlight it the way I've just done, like this, and click heading 1. As you can see, I don't need to go and start clicking red, changing the font or changing anything. I will just highlight it and click heading 1 so that it will take the form of what we formatted in the heading 1 at the beginning of this video. I hope that is clear. Anything that is in heading 1, I always like it to be in capital letter. So the next thing you want to do after highlighting it like this is to hover your mouse to this letter A here that has upper and lower case. There is a small arrow beside it. Click it and then you click uppercase. As you can see, it has turned to uppercase automatically. We don't need to delete it and start typing it one by one after pressing caps lock. The shortcut for that is Shift F3 on your keyboard. So if you highlight something and you type Shift F3, it's going to change to uppercase. We're going to try that later on in this video. So that is introduction. You just keep scrolling down. Please note, each page should have 3 to 4 paragraph. So this space is too much, reduce it. As you can see, like this, you have 1 2 3, this is 3 and it's okay. You keep scrolling, you keep checking the pages to see that everything is fine. We've started the formatting proper now. Any space that is too much, you reduce it. Any irrelevant word or thing or phrase, you remove it like that. As you can see, everything is going smooth. You see that this one has just 2 paragraphs. Let me just bring this down like this. This one too, everything does feel clustered. You see, the reason you're going to be putting all these little spaces in between each paragraph is that it makes readability easy and your book looks professional. You don't want to chunk all the words in one page. You want to make sure that they are well arranged, like it is formatted by a professional. Another thing I used to do in my book is that I don't want a full stop to end a page and then another sentence starts after the full stop. I'll take it to the next page. This is my style. It is not anybody's recommendation. It's not like if you don't do that, your book is not well formatted. No, you can leave yours like that, but I'm just giving you my own formatting style. So this one now, that type 2 diabetes starts after a full stop at the end of the page. I'll take it to the next page by tapping enter on my keyboard. So as you can see, the introduction has ended. The next thing now is chapter 1. We want to put our chapter 1 in our heading 1 again. Remember, I said anything that you want to appear in your table of contents is what you should put in your heading 1 and heading 2. So chapter 1, you highlight it. You know, I told you that the shortcut for uppercase is Shift F3. So let's try that. I've highlighted what I want to change to uppercase. So I'll just go to my keyboard and type Shift F3. As you can see, it has changed to uppercase. The next thing, I want to put it in my heading 1, so I'll just click heading 1. What happens? It has taken the shape and the color and the font size and the font style of what we have in our heading 1. Now that is a chapter. Understanding diabetes is a sub chapter, as I explained earlier. So you highlight that and click heading 2. You see that you don't need to highlight it, click blue, click font style, click font size. No, it's just take the shape of what you've formatted or the setup you did in your heading 2 bar. So let's continue like this. As you can see, it looks smooth like this. This is 3 paragraphs. It's okay. You continue like this. This space is too much. You reduce it. This looks good. Then this is causes of diabetes, which is also supposed to be under heading 2 because it is a sub-chapter under chapter 1. So what you do, you highlight it and you click heading 2. It takes its shape automatically. I hope you understand. So you continue. You can bring this down like this, reduce like this. You see that another full stop has ended a sentence at the end of this page. I don't want another sentence starting after a full stop at the end of the page. I'll just click the beginning of that sentence and tap enter on my keyboard to move to the next page. Let's continue like this. This is possible causes of diabetes. I want this to also appear in my table of contents. I'll highlight it and then I click heading 2. I hope you're following. It's very, very easy. Once you already have your heading 1 and heading 2 set, everything will be going smoothly. Let's remove this extra space. You keep going down. As you can see, types of diabetes, it's also under chapter 1, which is a sub-chapter under the chapter 1. So you highlight it and put it in heading 2. All these things that I'm putting in heading 2 and heading 1, you will see that when we create our table of contents, they are all going to appear. And this is the marketing that a lot of people don't know. Whenever a customer or a potential buyer clicks the look inside feature of your book, they will see that your book has types of diabetes, possible causes of diabetes, understanding diabetes. You see, they will see all these things that they are contained in this book, and that gives you higher chances to make a sale. So let's continue. There's extra space here. We remove the space. Another extra space, you remove the space. It's explaining the types of diabetes. All we need to do is to bold the types like this. Type 1 diabetes, you make it bold. This B here is bold. You highlight this again and click bold like this. Diagnosing diabetes is supposed to be under heading 2. You highlight it and click heading 2. I hope you're following. It's very straightforward. You continue like this, close the extra space, continue, then we finished chapter 1. Before we continue formatting, I want to quickly chip in something. You know, I told you that I will teach you how to format in a way that your book will look like you used a graphic design suite or a graphic design software to format it. There's a space between introduction and chapter 1. Let's check it out. Let's go up. This is the space. I don't leave this space like this. That's what makes my formatting different. I don't leave this space like this. What I would do is that I will look for an image to cover up this space. Since this book is talking about diabetes, I'll go and look for diabetes related image to cover up or fill up this space. So I'll head straight to my browser, open Pixabay or Pexels or Unsplash, and then I'll type diabetes. As you can see, all these things depicts diabetes. What do we do? Which one should we pick? You see, they are all very attractive. So you just keep scrolling down. Any one that appeals to you, you can just pick it, download it, and use it. I would also show you something again. Now, let's say I want to use this. So I click on it. The background is not white. All these are equipment or tools used by doctors to test sugar level, which also depicts or relates to diabetes. The background is not white. All you need to do is to open the image like this, then you download it. First of all, download it, right click on it and click on save as. After clicking save as, you click save. This is the picture it has downloaded. We now head straight to remove BG. That is the website I showed in one of my videos that you can use to remove background image. This is the website remove.bg. What you downloaded, you can either click upload, go to your downloads or wherever you saved it and upload the image, or just simply click and drag it into this interface. Click and drag like this. When you drag it on this interface, the color of the background will change. Then you leave it. Once you leave it, it will remove the background by itself. As you can see, it has removed background from this image. All you need to do is to right click on the image, click on copy, go back to your document and click paste, Ctrl V. As you can see, this image has been added to our book. It's not in the middle. When you click on it, you click home and then you click center. Look at it. When you click on center, you can decide to reduce the size a little like this so it will look finer. I still have another space here. I'll still add something again. Let me go back there and look for another image, maybe something like this, or let's use diet this time. So click on this diet. This time it has a white background, so there's no point removing the background. The background is white, so you right click on it, copy, go back to your book and paste, Ctrl V. Now it moves to the next page because it's too big for that space. All you need to do is to click on it and drag it down to reduce the size. As you can see, the size has reduced. See how fine it is. Another thing I can do is that I don't want to put two different images. I can just delete this first one and drag only this big one into the space like this. This looks good. I saw something that I would like to use. I want to write diabetes under. I'll go back to Pixabay, look for something like this, click on it. Since it's white background, there's no point removing the background because the paper color for our book is white. So right click on it, click on copy, go back to your document and paste. Reduce that again as we did earlier and you click center. As you can see, this is awesome. Now your book looks very fine and professionally formatted. Okay, I can increase the size a little for this, like this. This looks very nice. So this is how I format my book to make it look very attractive. I don't leave any extra space without filling it up with images. As you can see, let's scroll up to check it. This is introduction. You scroll down, you see that, imagine you're reading this book. You see images like this. You see your chapter 1. You keep going, as you can see, until you get to chapter 2. Now, we are on chapter 2. Let's quickly format chapter 2. You highlight the chapter 2, put it in your heading 1. Remember, Shift F3, or you click this upper and lower case arrow and then you click uppercase. It will change that to uppercase. Then this, you highlight it, which is a sub-chapter, and put it in heading 2 like this. Then you continue again. This space is too much, you reduce it like this. This looks good already. This is too much, you reduce the space here too. Just keep reducing the spaces like this. It's going fine. This is another sub-chapter, so you highlight it and put it in your heading 2. I hope you're following. All these things you're putting in your heading 1 and 2, they would appear in your table of contents. Now imagine somebody seeing that your book has nutrition and diet for diabetes reversal. It also has exercises for diabetes reversal. It also has types of diabetes, managing stress for diabetes. All these things would boost their interest and make them click to buy your book. This is another full stop at the end of a page. You take it to the next page, reduce this extra space. This is another sub chapter. You highlight it and click heading 2. Then you reduce this extra space again. We continue like that. Extra space, you reduce it like this. You reduce this too. This is another full stop. You click on the first alphabet and then you tap enter on your keyboard to take it to another page. So like this, we continue formatting. We've gotten to chapter 3. When you get to a stage like this, when you finish chapter 1 and you want to move to chapter 2, or you finish chapter 2, you want to move to chapter 3, you should add something called page break. Page break will keep all your chapters intact. Okay, let me make it practical. Instead of you clicking here and tapping enter to the next page, it's going to scatter your book. What you should do is to click the first alphabet or the first word that you want to move to the next page. Click it, click the beginning, put your cursor in front of it, and then hover your mouse to insert. Click on insert and click page break. As you can see, it automatically takes it to the next page. Nothing is going to scatter this book or this page. So the next thing you want to do now is to highlight the chapter 3 and put it in your heading 1. Click on heading 1 like this. Remember to change it to uppercase. You don't want to have lowercase as chapter 1, uppercase as chapter 2, lowercase as chapter 3. It does not make it seem like you know what you're doing. Somebody reading your book will just feel like, what's the meaning of this? If you are using uppercase for your chapter 1, all the chapters must be uppercase. If you are using lowercase, all the chapters must be lowercase. So in this case, we are using uppercase, so I'll just tap Shift F3 on my keyboard and it has changed it to uppercase. So the next thing, you highlight the next one and put it in heading 2. Remember, I've been saying it, everything you put in heading 1 or heading 2 would show in your table of content. Reduce the extra space like this. This is a full stop at the end. You tap enter for it to go to the next page, like this, like this. This is another subchapter, drugs and diabetes reversal. Now you are creating suspense in this book. This person or the potential buyer that wants to buy this book is seeing all these things, but he can't read them unless he buys this book. That alone is going to trigger his emotions to click the buy now button, because he has seen that this book has a lot of useful components that he needs to read, and it will help his diabetic condition. So this is how you will be creating some kind of suspense amidst all your pages, and it will increase your sales. This is another full stop at the end. You just click on it and click enter to the next page. Reduce this again. This is too clustered for me. I'll just look for the full stop at the middle and take it down. Just tap enter to take it down. Click here. As you can see, everything is going smoothly like this. You reduce this again. Now, diabetes meal plan. This is still under chapter 2. Remember what I told you about page break? Anytime you want to start a new heading or subheading from a new page, you put your page break. So you click on the first alphabet or the beginning of the alphabet that you want to move to the next page and click insert and click page break. But there's a shortcut for it. The shortcut is Control Enter. So me, I'm a shortcut person. I know all the shortcuts from A to Z on Microsoft Word, from A to Z. In fact, I think I'm going to do a video about that for my TikTok viewers. I know all the shortcuts from A to Z and I know their functions. So you just tap Control Enter. It will move to the next page. This is not a new chapter. It is part of chapter 2. So you don't put it in heading 1. You highlight it and put it in heading 2. It's now in heading 2. Now, day 1. This is another sweet marketing secret for your books. Imagine somebody saying that your book has a 7-day meal plan with recipes and preparation methods, but the person is not seeing the recipes. He's only seeing that it has day 1, it has day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. In some of my books, I'll even put it that it has day 1, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks. Day 2, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks. Day 3, I'll continue like that till I get to the 7th one. But I don't want to do that in this video because it's going to be too long. So let us go straight to the point. This is day 1. I'll put it in heading 2. I want it to appear in my table of content. So once the potential buyer sees diabetes meal plan, oh, this book has a meal plan, he would see day 1, he will see day 2, day 3. He would know that there's a complete 7-day meal plan in this book, but he cannot see it until he buys this book. So let's keep going. This is dinner. For day 2 now, what do we do? Heading 2. You highlight it and put it in heading 2. When we do our table of contents, you will see all these things. You will see that it will appear in the table of contents. Then you continue like this by reducing all the extra spaces. Dinner, we highlight that and put it in heading 2. See how lovely the formatting is going. It makes formatting very easy. Once you've set up your heading 1 and heading 2, everything is going to be going smoothly and your formatting is going to be very sweet. In fact, I love formatting. Day 5, you highlight it and put it in heading 2 like this. So this is how you are going to put everything. Day 6, heading 2. The person or the potential buyer will be seeing it that this book has a lot of components or elements that would help them reverse their diabetes. Heading 2 for day 7, but they can only have access to this information when they buy this book. I hope I'm making sense. We've gotten to chapter 4. As you can see, if we move this chapter 4 to the next page and only this dinner is on this page, it will not make any sense. One thing we can do is to fill up the space with a very beautiful picture, or we reduce the line spacing for the last set of recipes in that section. So I can just highlight this. All the day 7, I'll highlight it. You know, I'm using 1.5 line spacing. I can put it in single line spacing, which is 1 line spacing like this. Who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna know. So you see that we have our chapter 4 intact. So we highlight that and put it in heading 1. Remember that all our chapters are for heading 1 and sub chapters are for heading 2. So shift F3 to make that capital letter. Chapter 4 is diabetic recipes. This is where we want to explain that our book has recipes and preparation method with ingredients. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, or desserts. Now we have chapter 4. We are going to highlight this and put it in heading 2 so that it will appear in our table of contents. So when you have this, you also want this person to know that out of these recipes, we have for breakfast, we have for lunch, we have for dinner. So you also highlight the breakfast and put it in heading 2. I hope you're following. This is strategic marketing for your book. At the same time, another thing you should do again is that all your recipes should be in heading 2. All the names of your recipes should be in heading 2. A potential buyer clicks the look inside of your book and he's seeing that your book has 30 to 40 recipes, but he cannot have access to the recipes unless he buys them. So you have breakfast. The first recipe here is overnight carrot cake oatmeal. You highlight that and put it in heading 2. Then ingredients, you just make that bold. Instructions, you make it bold too. Okay, you continue. This is the second recipe. You highlight that and put it in heading 2. You highlight this and make it bold. Instructions, make it bold too. We are going to the third one. You highlight it and put it in heading 2. You make this bold, make the instructions bold too. We are going to number 4, which is the fourth recipe. Highlight that and put it in heading 2. Then you make the ingredients bold and then you go down again, make the instructions bold. We are going to the fifth one. You highlight that and put it in heading 2. Okay. Then you make the ingredients bold and then you make the instructions bold. So this is how we would continue. Let me pause this video now so I'll do everything before I come back to other chapters of this book and we can round up. Remember, your Kindle version is not supposed to have page numbers. So this particular format that we're working on now is the paperback version of this book because it has page numbers. It is always recommended that you do the paperback version first before you do the Kindle version, and I'll show you how to do it easily. Let me pause this video and I'll be right back when I finish all the recipes so the video will not be too long. I've finished formatting everything. As you can see, if you scroll down, you see that we have it till conclusion. This extra space here, I'll add a picture just the same way I showed earlier in this video. I'll just go to Pixabay or Pixels, download one picture, remove the background if it's not a white background, and put it here. I'll do the same for every other part of this book that has an extra space. So now we are left with the table of contents and the title page. Let's go up. So it is time to set up our title page. You know, we have the title, the subtitle, and the author name. Now you can highlight this. That's the first one. Remember I told you that the title page is not supposed to be in either heading 1 or heading 2. It's supposed to be under normal. As you can see, when I highlighted it, it is under normal. When you highlight it like this, you put it in the center, click center, increase the font size. You can also change the font to a more attractive font. Let's say something like this. No, I don't like this. Let's look for another one. This can increase the font, reduce the line spacing. This is the subtitle. You highlight it. You can make it italics, make it bold, increase the font a little too, put it in the center, then author name. This is a perfect front cover. But you can also add image here, the same way I showed you how to add image where there is a space in this book. But I don't want to go into that. That seemed a little advanced, but like this, it is perfect. So title page, copyright page, the next thing is table of contents. You just click this part here, go to preference. You click on preference. You know, I told you that we are going to generate a table of contents automatically. We are not going to be clicking, checking the pages and writing it manually. So when you click on preference, you click table of contents. Scroll down to custom table of contents. We want to make this table of contents clickable. You click custom table of contents. Options. When you click options, you will see all these heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You will see outline levels marked. then you say OK. The next thing is to click OK again. As you can see, it has generated the table of contents with each page. All you need to do now is to reduce the line spacing and the font size for this table of contents. You first of all write table of contents like this. You put it in the center if you like, or you can leave it like that. You increase the font a little, then you highlight all the table of contents. You see it has taken too much page. You highlight it like this and start clicking this small letter A to reduce the font size. You see that the table of contents has reduced. Imagine somebody checking the look inside of this book. They will see all these components. You see all the recipe names, 7-day meal plan, all the days, but they understand that only when they buy this book will they have access to this information. This is a marketing strategy. Another thing I want you to know is that if your table of contents takes more than 2 pages, it has to be 4 pages. If you do your table of contents and it takes only 2 pages, it's perfect. But once it exceeds 2 pages, it has to be 4. So you have to increase it and make it 4. Or you add a picture on the 4th page so that your introduction will start from the right hand side of your book. I'm going to explain this better, maybe in another video. So when it is like this, you see that it is perfect. The next thing you want to do is to bring this introduction back to this empty page by clicking it like this and tapping backspace on your keyboard. As you can see, this book looks perfectly formatted. Let's start from the top. As you can see, you can decide to change colors like this. Make this color red and maybe the author name color blue. This is only going to appear in your Kindle version. Your paperback version is going to be all black. Even the images will turn to black. But in your Kindle version, it will be colored like this because it's an ebook. They are going to be reading it on a device. So let's scroll down to check. If you see now, you'll see that the pages are not going to tally with the table of contents. The first element in the table of contents starts from page 9. So let's scroll down and see. In reality, it starts from page 7. So you scroll up, right click on the table of contents, any element on table of content, just right click on it, click update field and click update page numbers only. Please take note, update page numbers only. When you click update page numbers, you see that it has updated. Now, introduction starts from page 7. If you scroll down and check, you will see that it starts from page 7. Now, every element in this book is perfectly arranged, as you can see. Now, we have successfully completed the formatting for our paperback version. So you save as PDF. Once you finish the paperback, you save it as PDF because KDP only accepts PDF versions for paperback and hardcover. And guess what? The same format for paperback is the same format you're going to use for your hardcover. They are both the same. The only thing you're going to be changing here is for the Kindle, which is by removing the page numbers. After saving as PDF, it's time to quickly run our Kindle version. All you need to do is to go back to Insert, Page Numbers, remove page numbers. This time, just scroll down and remove page numbers. Click on Remove Page Numbers. As you see, the pages does not have page numbers again. So you now go back to Reference again, Table of Contents, Custom Table of Contents. You see where it says Show Page Numbers. You untick it, then you click on Options again. You see that everything is intact here. Heading 1, Heading 2, Heading 3. You say OK, and then you click OK. Now it's asking you, replace this table of contents. You say OK. As you can see, it has removed page numbers from each of the pages, and it has removed pages from the table of contents. So you highlight that to reduce it again. Then you tap on this small letter A like this. You can even decide to change the font color. This is the Kindle version, so you can use any color you like, but make sure that the body is black. So you can make the table of contents color blue like this. Then you will run through the formatting process again by making sure that there are no extra spaces in the pages. As you can see, everything is going smoothly. You see that everything we formatted still looks perfect. Look at this one now. Remember that when we were formatting the chapter 1 the other time, we didn't use Ctrl Enter, which is page break. That's why this chapter 2 looks scattered. So you just tap Ctrl Enter on your keyboard so you move to the next page. You can put a picture here to cover up this space. As you can see, there are no extra spaces anywhere. So this is your Kindle version. You will now save it as PDF, then convert it to Kindle using the Kindle converter. I hope you understand Kindle and paperback formatting. Now, we've successfully done page numbers, body and proper formatting, table of contents, title page, then you save your document as PDF and you are done. So we are done formatting everything in this book. We've done Kindle formatting, paperback formatting, and if you've done paperback formatting, you've automatically done hardcover formatting. At this point, I want to say thank you very much for watching this video. If you don't understand it after your first watch, try to watch it again a second time and practice what you watched. That is the only way you're going to get perfect with formatting your book. If you got value from this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and hit the bell notification icon so that YouTube will send you instant notifications anytime I post awesome videos like this. One more thing, please share this video with your friends. Share it on your WhatsApp, your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok, every social media, on your Facebook too, so that more people will have access to this information and benefit from it the same way you are benefiting from it right now. Thank you very much once again. I'll see you in the next one.